Imagine the world holding its breath. The year is 1919. A brutal war has just ended and the Treaty of Versailles is signed, meant to bring peace. But for Germany, it brought humiliation and economic ruin. This simmering resentment became the fertile ground for a man named Adolf Hitler and his Nazi party. He promised to restore Germany's glory, and a desperate nation listened. This is the story of World War II, a conflict that would engulf the entire globe. By the 1930s, the world was a chessboard of rising tensions. In Italy, Benito Mussolini's fascists were in power. In Asia, Imperial Japan was expanding its empire with brutal force. Hitler, now Germany's leader, began to test the waters. He rearmed Germany, annexed Austria, and then set his sights on Czechoslovakia. The Allied powers, mainly Britain and France, hoped to avoid another war. They chose a policy of appeasement, essentially giving Hitler what he wanted, hoping he would stop. He didn't. On September 1st, 1939, Nazi Germany invaded Poland. The world could no longer look away. The war had begun. Germany, Italy, and Japan formed the Axis powers. Their initial onslaught was terrifyingly effective. The German war machine unleashed a new type of warfare, Blitzkrieg or lightning war. Using coordinated attacks with tanks and the Air Force, the Luftwaffe, they swept across Europe. Meanwhile, German U-boats prowled the Atlantic, trying to starve the island nation into submission. The war had two main stages or theaters. In the European theater, Hitler made his most fateful decision. He turned on his supposed ally, Joseph Stalin, and invaded the Soviet Union. This opened the Eastern Front, a brutal, sprawling battlefield where the sheer scale of fighting was unimaginable. The Battle of Stalingrad became a turning point. After a horrific city-razing siege, the Soviets managed to encircle and destroy an entire German army. The tide was beginning to turn. Then on December 7th, 1941, the war went truly global. Without warning, Imperial Japan launched a surprise attack on the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor. America, led by President Franklin D. Roosevelt, was thrust into the war. Now, the full might of the Allied powers, Britain, the Soviet Union, and the United States, was aligned against the Axis. The fighting in the Pacific Theater was a brutal island-hopping campaign against a fanatical Japanese military. Behind the front lines, a horror of unimaginable scale was unfolding. The Nazis, driven by a twisted ideology, were carrying out the Holocaust. This was a systematic genocide. Millions of Jews, along with Roma, homosexuals, disabled people, and political opponents, were rounded up. They were sent to concentration camps like Auschwitz, where they were subjected to forced labor, torture, and mass murder. The SS and the Gestapo's secret police enforced this reign of terror. Back in